welcome back to our special COVID-19 Liberty on Lockdown, but not for our next guest, Mr. KARL MANKE, a barber in Michigan. Mr. MANKE, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Really good to talk to you. How long have you been barbering, sir?
Well, I'm in my 60th year. I started in 1961.
Unreal. Have you ever seen anything like this?
You know, I've been through 14 administrations. I was born in 1942 under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You know, I've survived 14 administrations. I have never seen anything like this. Not even in the 1960s when, you know, there was a uproar and the government, of course, was, you know, at that time it was the Republicans that were the bad guys and the Democrats were the good guys. And this is one of the things that I've noticed is that, you know, the Democrat Party back in the 1960s and 70s were for free speech, for human rights, for the dignity of man, you know, no oppression from government. They've completely flipped on this one. Now they've become the oppressive government, censoring speech, you know, taking tyrannical stands for power, illegal stands for power in the hopes that they can tie it up in the courts long enough to get done what they want. And then, of course, you know, then the rest of us are the pawns that get pushed around in this thing. And I'm tired of being a pawn.
Beautiful. And you've been a face of this now, and you're doing it the right way. Take us back to March, at the beginning of March when this whole thing first happened. What was your first thoughts on it all when the government told you to shut down? Did you initially? And what were your thoughts on that at first?
Yeah, you know, my thoughts were, you know, that first of all, the agendas, you know, that were coming out, you know, people were standing on. I noticed right away that there was a hope, a wish that somehow or other this economy would collapse, you know. And from the standpoint of collapsing, the longer they could make it last, the better it would be for, you know, the Liberal Party. And I was kind of a little bit skeptical of that at the time, that they would be willing to destroy the economy in the country, you know, just for a political agenda. But the more I see the determination in some of these folks that are especially those that are career politicians, that's what they are doing. You know, if they can hope that the economy will collapse, they can stretch it out a little bit longer. You know, the hopes is that even though we can destroy the economy, we may win in the fall. You know, we have a chance of winning if our present administration can't take credit for a good economy. So I see these things, you know, and of course people discuss that in my shop. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes bantered around here. It is. And March 1st, March 13th, 14th, someplace right in there, they declared that we had to shut down for 2 weeks. Well, in the 59 years and going into my 60th year, I've never shut down 2 weeks for anything. You know, I've never had a sick day, you know, so... Yeah, well, these are the kind of crazy things, you know, that right now that maybe middle America has a grasp on some of this stuff that maybe on the two coasts they don't have. But we have a grasp that there's more to the human being than just the physical protection. Our politicians,
Let me ask you about that again. That's such an interesting point. I love that. What do you mean by that? There's more to our life than just our physical safety. What do you mean?
Yeah, all I mean by this is that I'm an author. I've written 10 novels, and I know the human being pretty well, you know, and I know that we're made up physically, you know, that's one part of us. The other components are mental and spiritual. Now, you put people into their homes for 2-3 months, telling them that they have to stay there because we're protecting you physically. You're going to end up with a vacated, empty, mental and spiritual being. And they don't even know that it's happened. I mean, I see this fear growing and growing and growing and growing on people that are locked up in their houses. You know, they're not aware of they're just hoping, you know, that somehow or other the government will lead them out of this. Well, I don't trust that. You know, I don't trust that the government is here to help me in that sense.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.